Okay, yeah, that's enough of you, Miley. Alright, you're done. Okay. Hey, I came in like a wrecking ball. You guys don't want to hear that. Okay, guys, so let's get to this recap real quick. A lot to get to. A lot of fun stuff going on right now. So Roger Goodell beat Little D Giant sorry, Jeremy. America's team with the Dez picture still in his profile picture. So dumb, doesn't make any sense. Why don't you trade Yuri like an 8th round pick for Dez? He'll probably do it because that's just some stupid shit that Yuri would do. So America's team was the lowest scoring team this week. Russell Wilson had the highest points this week. He got 43 points, and he proved to be the biggest factor in the win for Roger Goodell, as 2 players on his team got 3 points. You know, I'd really love to hear from Roger Goodell as to why he sat Fuller. I'm thinking like he probably read like some stupid love-hate thing on the fantasy thing, and he was like, oh, everyone's saying to sit Fuller. Yeah, everyone also said not to play Deshaun Watson or Hopkins too, and we'll get to that part later. But you can't, if you don't listen to ESPN fantasy football advice. It doesn't always work out. In fact, they're wrong probably 99% of the time. So Crowell actually, this is his first week that he got over 9 points it's the first time this year. I think he got like 15 points. But he was on Jeremy's bench, so that's not fun. But he also had Crowder and Gore on the bench as well. So I did a little bit of math. So if you take away So they got 39.4 points. So if you take away the points his team put up and replace them flex, wide receiver, running back, then he would have had an extra 27.5 points, giving him 82.2 points. So, I mean, he still would have lost. So I guess I don't know, that was a waste of time. Sorry, yeah, Jeremy, your team sucked this week. It didn't matter. There was nothing you could do. You were going to lose. Unless you played like Lance or Kevin or something. Gotham Knights lost to Lance in the Pants. Lance in the Pants. I'm still waiting on some, like, did you Lance Gotham Knights in the Pants, or did you, like, make a deal where, you're like, oh, I win, like, can you Lance me in the pants? Like, I'm still kind of confused. So 63.7 to 57.2. This game came down to Monday night, and it was getting really, really close, and then the game ended. So that's just where that whole thing ended. Cam Newton, yet again, disappoints Todd. He gets him like 14 points. And Zach Miller, obviously injured in a really bad way. He had his touchdown called back, and he got him 0 points. Todd had only 2 players go over 10 points. Lance had 2 players with less than 1 point, and 2 players over 10. Like, how do you win like that? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like somebody is taking advice from Yuri and Fro on how to win games when they don't do shit. When their team totally sucks, and they're like, oh, I'll just go ahead and pull a win out of my freaking ass. Yeah, that's Yuri and Fro. Had Todd have started Marvin Jones, he would have won this game. So anyways, bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Okay, so Bad Boys, they beat Voldemort 95.5 to 64.9. You know, I thought Voldemort was going to get a second win this week, and I was totally wrong on that. The Bad Boys had a helping hand from the Chiefs' defense, scoring 21 points, while his 2 running backs got him a total of 81.1 points. 2 running backs got him 81.1 points. Voldemort apparently has lost his ability to do any voodoo. I don't know what is going on with Kevin, but he has lost his voodoo ability. It's like we should just rename him like Peep Bunny. You know those bunnies that you eat at Easter? And like you just eat them and they're so delicious and marshmallowy and sugary. Like that's Kevin. He's just this like little, just like, oh poor Kevin. Like, okay, bye. You were fun for a second, like Peeps at Easter, but now you got to go away. Yeah, he was fun for a second because he had one win, and now it's kind of like, okay, bye. I get that he's in rebuild mode now, but this has been a thing since the beginning of the season. So Prescott only had 6.6 points, and he had 7 players. Yes, 7 players with less than 7 points. And the sad part is even his bench couldn't save him because he didn't have anything going on there. So the Bad Boys sneak out a win, even with the brutal bye week that they had. The Taupes straight up peed right in the anus of the urinator. Just like stuck that wiener in there and just like after a night of drinking, just peed as much as freaking possible right into the urinator's butthole. 138 to 91.3. It wasn't really good news from the start, though, because on Thursday night, the Taupes defense scored 29 points, and then Zeke decided to go crazy, probably because he was like, "Oh, it's my last week, guys. It's my last week. I'm not going to play for 6 weeks, so I'm just going to go crazy for you." So the Taupes are not happy with that news about Zeke. And then Juju Smith-Schuster, the Schuster. 25.3, and I'm kicking myself for not picking him up when I wanted to, and yeah, that's terrible. So despite Yuri's struggles, and by struggles I mean Smallwood, 1.4 points. Amari Cooper with the typical terrible week. It makes my freaking head hurt. He's like all of a sudden like winning first round picks for Amari Cooper. 5.2 points, Dez, 3.9 points. Dez, who apparently in the text message, he's like, "You were going to be punished by Dez." And then Fro's like trying to call me out and be like, "Oh, a Cowboys fan hating on a Cowboy." Dude, Fro, you're a fucking idiot. Like, you're an idiot. This is fantasy football. It has nothing to do, if I was such a diehard fan, if I was like an idiot and like a diehard fan like mixed together, I would have all Cowboys. Do you not remember United States of Tom Brady? Froberg! Your Fro is taking over your brain cells, for crying out loud! United States of Tom Brady, Legos and popsicles! Holy jeez, Fro! Like, look at me, look at this room, you shut your mouth! You're a freaking idiot. Trying to say like, "Oh, if you're a Cowboys fan hating on Dez," I love Dez Bryant. I love Dez, but he doesn't put up fantasy points. And to give up 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and a third-round pick for a guy that never gets over 10 points a game is freaking ridiculous. And now Yuri's trying to make up for it by, like, getting, like, first-round picks for Amari Cooper. It doesn't make any sense. And, Fro, I thought you were smarter than that. You should see this stuff. Come on, Fro. Ridiculous. Although, I keep giving you credit because I think you're smart, but you win these games that you're scoring like 80 points and the other person's scoring like 60. Like, you have like the lowest points force in the entire league. Holy jeez, Fro. Oh my gosh. It's like a jambalaya of fucktard up in this league all of a sudden. A jambalaya of fucktard. I don't know where that came from, but write that down. That's awesome. Okay, so anyways, I don't know. And then Hunter Henry, 1.1 points. Like where do you even get the balls to start these players? Like, you have to have, like, the tiniest freaking balls in the entire world. Wait, no, opposite. But it's Yuri, so, like, you have to have the largest vagina? I don't know. So he still had his kicker get 21 points. Andy Dalton got 22 points. And Lamar Miller got 19.3. So he surprisingly got more points than I thought he would. The closest game this week, Experience versus Fro. Experience won this one 103.1 to 100.3. This game came down to Antonio Brown. And at first I was like, oh my god, what if Antonio Brown doesn't even get a catch? And then he got like a few catches and got Cody 7 points, which was all he needed to get that 103. So that gave Cody the W. Cody had yet another 100-point week, except for the week before or whatever it was. And Drew Brees decided not to show up, 10.8 points. And if Drew would have just had a few more good plays, Fro could have won that game and the kryptonite of the league would continue. But finally, hopefully that stupid shit is catching up to him. So his highest scoring player was the Eagles defense. That locked in 20 points. And I'm really kind of surprised at Christian McCaffrey. Like, he's only had 2 good weeks at 10 points. Let's see. He has only had 2 weeks over 10 points with 4 weeks at 5 points or less. Like, this dude was like a 2nd overall pick. Shouldn't he be like Leonard Fournette or something? Like, this could be a bust move for Cody. I'm sorry, but it's kind of looking like a bust for Cody unless the Panthers just get him more involved, but it's just not looking like that right now. Okay, so then the Rowdies went, I'm winning like a wrecking ball. Okay, wrecking ball, hence the music. So on the Sharknadoes winning 149.4, the highest scoring team this week, to 101.2. So Adam actually would have beaten 7 other teams this week with that score. And he probably felt pretty good going into this week with a 15-point advantage in the predictions or whatever. So I think it's really funny because a few weeks ago I was texting a lot of you who needed quarterbacks. I was like, hey, you guys interested in Tom Brady or Deshaun Watson? And everyone was like, not interested in Watson. Only interested in Brady. I'll give you a second or whatever bullshit. And then the weeks went by and then people got more interested in Brady, but nothing on Watson. Well, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Yuri, you suck. Fuck you. So, I mean, okay, so he scored 40.7 points. Then DeAndre Hopkins made his debut with the Rowdy, scoring 28.4. That's 69.1 points. 69. Oh, okay. Between the two of them. So if you combine that with McKinnon and Kelsey having a great night, that's a win. I mean, right there, that's a win. I mean, I had 2 players score more points than freaking half the league. Well, not half, but like, I don't know, Todd, I'm totally just going off memory. Like Todd and Voldemort and almost Yuri. Also scored more than Lance, Gotham Knights, and Little DJ, America's Team, and Voldemort. Yep, I think I got them all. I might have missed 1 or 2. Okay, so my 2 players beat out most of the league, so that's awesome. And so combine that, yep. And then Adam Thielen was on the bench, 15.8 points on the bench. I mean, oh well, it really didn't matter. So I was getting really nervous, but LaShawn McCoy decided to show up for the 3rd week this year. He gets 23.3 points. Julio Jones and A.J. Green haven't done much. Julio has only had 2 weeks over 10 points. A.J. Green had 3 back-to-back good weeks, but has had a combined 12.8 points since returning from the bye week. This week, we've got Isotopes versus the Gotham Knights. The Topes have 5 players on bye week, including Le'Veon Bell, plus Zeke is suspended. So if Todd's team is just halfway decent this week, he could pull off a big win here. He's got to be thanking his lucky stars that this is happening right now. But I just can't pick the Topes to win this week with everything going on. I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls it off like some Fro or Yuri shit. But yeah, I'm thinking Gotham Knights. Lance in the Pants versus Voldemort. It's a must-win for both teams. If Lance wins, he has a 2-game lead for not getting last in the league with 3 weeks remaining. Both teams have pretty tough schedules coming up. Voldemort, I think Dak's going to throw a lot this week, so I think Voldemort's going to get a 2nd win. I'm going to say it again, but we'll see. Fro versus Goodell. Fro had a really close week against Cody's team. I just think the Kryptonite strikes again and beats Goodell. Bad Boys versus Urinators is the battle of the 4 and 4s. I don't know. I don't know about this one. I think the Bad Boys win, but the Bad Boys are so up and down. And Yuri just seems to pull off a win out of his ass when he really shouldn't be doing that. So I'll say the Bad Boys wins for shits and giggles, and I hate Yuri. So I'm just going to pick against him. The NATOs versus Experience. Experience, just like Tim's team, they've got a really tough week with byes. Gordon, Brown, Amendola, Brady, all on bye. I think the Sharknadoes, just like the Knights, have to take advantage of this situation. I wouldn't be surprised if the Experience pulls it off, but if the Sharknadoes don't show up at all, then that's how Cody wins, and he's probably hoping for that. But I'm just gonna take the Sharknadoes on this one. Rowdy's versus America's team. Obviously, I'm going to pull for the Rowdies. I'm going to take them. But don't put it past Jeremy to have a good week and pull something off. Before this week, he was scoring 99, 95, and 104 points in the 3 weeks before last week. The first 3 weeks of the year, he scored 101, 123, 102, so his team was on fire, man. But I'll still take the Rowdies, even with the issues on bye for them this week. Okay, guys, that's all I got. I'm way over time. Holla, holla, holla.